There are a lot of cool and unique ways of reaching out to people. I would consider events spark moments or not the most common way of approaching this. A lot of people miss the opportunity of reaching people when they're in the midst of doing something. It shows admiration, it shows respect, it shows that you've done your outreach, it shows that you're a real fan, which is kind of cool. And so I try to find speakers that are attending or going to speak at different events because ultimately that could be a really cool pull in. It's like, I think you're amazing. I really am looking forward to the speech, or amazing job at this conference. I got to see the video, whatever. So there's lots of different ways to find events. I have included a massive list of event directories. The top ones in here are definitely Eventbrite. And of course, you can find stuff via LinkedIn. Luma is relatively new, which is kind of nice. Meetup is a lot more for in person kind of stuff. Ultimately, it really depends on the region. Every region has kind of its go-to event platform. So, like, I've included a bunch of stuff within Denmark. But yeah, it really just depends on you. And so I would just show you a very quick run through of how I would use Eventbrite. So this is Eventbrite, and if I plugged in, let's say, blockchain, then I have a handful of events that are happening in the relative near future. These look like kind of the public posting type of stuff that could be published literally anywhere, so I don't necessarily love that. The other way of doing this is that you can make it remote, so like all online events, which to me is way better, especially for the industry that I'm going after. And now I can start to see, wow, there's a lot more events on here. Now, still, you have to do a better job narrowing than I did. And there are a number of different filters, and there's a number of different ways to go in, see who's speaking, and ultimately connect with them. You can also go to YouTube and look up blockchain keynote or industry keynote, or videos that have been filtered by posted within the last month, and then search and find who's speaking and then do it that way. LinkedIn also has events, and I'm just quickly going to show that. I have an entire section on events, so I don't want to get like too wrapped up into this, but just for the sake of crazy arguments, like let's just do it. So I'm going to do crypto because I'm a crypto guy. Why not? And I have events. And nice. So there are events that are happening in the very near future, and I would potentially be able to find the people that are speaking at this event, and I could look them up and say, hey, really interesting stuff that you're speaking on this particular topic. I love that topic. I'm in the phase of trying to improve, build companies, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. You have to get tailored with your messaging, but just so we're on the same page, that's another route. And I think Spark Moments work really well. I will touch on events super deeply later on, but this is just kind of giving you a little piece of the remix there. And yeah, there's a slide that shows events and how to go about doing that. I want to wrap all this up because when you see these things on an island or isolated by themselves, like, great, so I know how to search for companies. What next? I'm going to show you, but before I do, I want to show a few other methodologies of scraping just so we have it, and then we can move on to putting it all together in a real workflow, in a real environment to do outreach via LinkedIn automated tools. That's a mouthful. All right, let's get into this next little segment, which is more scraping.